On this video, I'm going to talk about the change of the seasons, how it correlates to my spiritual journey, how it correlates to the spiritual journey, and how it correlates to anything you grapple with in life, whether it is a relationship, a course you're taking, a job you've just begun, a means of training you've just done on a job, anything which you have started over the process of time. How it looks as time progresses, as time proceeds. I want to show you something really, really interesting. Look at this. You see this leaf? This is what we tend to see in the peak of the summer. This beautiful leaf, this beautiful stem, which God has given us to the universe. It's a beautiful gift from God. We get to see this in the peak of the summer and in the continuation of the summer as well. And then there is this kind of leaf, which is still kind of green, but it's kind of saying goodbye to its green shade. It's sort of losing its perfect green color. Then round about the next stage, you'd probably get either this one or this one, depending really. That's sort of the next stage on the journey. I think you'd probably get this last. So the next stage will be this one and then this one. And the very last stage, which you would probably get thereafter, is this one, which is a beautiful shade of red. Beautiful shade of red. But it's not green anymore, and it's a dying color. And then as time progresses, you're going to see this color. You're going to see barren trees eventually. But before you get to the stage of barren trees, you will barely see a green leaf anywhere. Green leaves will become a rarity, and the trees will eventually become barren with no leaves at all, as you could see. And this symbolizes the seasons that we're on. It symbolizes our own journey. At times, things seem quite difficult. Things don't seem exactly like they were when they first begun. Take, for example, a relationship you're in. You had a great start. You got off very well together. You met somewhere really nice. And you've been going out for a couple of years. And then you tie the knot after knowing each other for a couple of years. And after you tie the knot, things seem to be going really well. And then things sort of started deteriorating, and things did not go exactly how they were before. Lots of people become despondent as a result. They're like, I've known this person for so many years. We got married after knowing each other for 3-4 years. And then after we've consummated our marriage, everything was perfect. Everything was in line. We were aligned with each other. We had perfect alignment with each other. We were both on the same spiritual level. What happened? They become despondent, and they hence think that everything has gone to this level of descension, right? They've gone from ascension to descension. They feel like they've descended. They've descended instead of ascended. And the branches are now barren. And they feel despondent. They feel really upset. You don't even see the scenery that you see behind me anymore. You see just these barren branches, nothing else. And the person hence becomes very despondent and upset. Thing is though, that on any journey you're going to be on, you're going to go through that. I had that this summer. I started off the summer in a peak. Actually, I started off towards the end of spring, which is around May. May is the month before summer begins. I started off in a peak. Everything seemed to be going really, really well. And then towards round about September time, I stopped my meditations. I stopped walking on the grass, and I wasn't going out in nature as much. And I also started, the beauty of it and the gift that God gave me was the fact that I got to listen to an amazing new teacher, Matt Kahn, whom I only started listening to around about end of August, beginning of September. And because I started listening to Matt Kahn, I realized that there are a lot of spiritual teachers who speak about amazing, amazing ideas, But at the end of the day, they don't mention the fact that you will take a nosedive because it's normal. The spirit wants to take along all the suitcases. The spirit wants to take everything along on this spiritual ascension journey. It doesn't just want to take along your mind, your body, and everything. It wants you to bring everything along. And because it wants you to bring everything along, you could hence become despondent, recalling and recollecting and reminiscing of memories. And as an effect, things could go folly for a short while. And that could make a person become despondent, it could make them become upset. It's barren. What's happened? Where have I gone? I'm not the same person I was. I'm not as spiritual as I was. What's happened to me? Macon talks a lot about this, and he says you need to understand that you ascended spiritually. That doesn't mean that you don't take falls. And if you're going to believe that you don't take falls, and you're just going to stand with it like a means of scaling it, measuring it, like checking the thermostat, saying, yeah, I'm on my spiritual level now, it's 22, perfect. You'll hence fall and fall again. And he also he engages a lot in humor when he talks about it. He says he's very humorous about it. He says there's a lot of spiritual teachers who kind of make the mistake of telling you that you can reach a level of ascension and your negative parts don't come back. And that's wrong. That's not true. The negative parts need to be revisited. You need to have nosedives. You need to go into periods of barren, when you can't see a single leaf on a branch and everything is desolate all around you. Not the perfect picture which you're seeing behind me. The picture behind me, things are not desolate, but they're not green like in the first picture. When you saw that green in the first picture, I don't know about you, but when I see green, I get excited. I love nature. I love the gift that God's given me through the universe and nature. And I'm not seeing that gift when I walk down the streets today. I still see beautiful sceneries because this is pretty nice. But I do know, I'm fully aware that as soon as we get closer and closer to the winter, this is what we're going to see. It's going to be desolate. But that's okay. The trees are going to be barren, and that's part of the procedure, and that's a symbol of my life as well. When things seem to take a nosedive, I'm not doing my meditation in the grass anymore. I'm not walking out in nature as much. I'm not even walking as much. That's something I hope to improve as well. Even though it's cold, and I'm quite a cold person, especially in the winter, I get very cold. Nonetheless, it's very important to do exercise, and that's something I endeavor to do in the future. It's very important to endure the weather as well. It's part of your spiritual health and your physical health as well. Mental health, of course, it is part of. So yeah, that is the message which I thought I would deliver to you today as well. I also wanted to mention a couple of stories I had in the last couple of days. I'm going to start with today's story. Today, I was waiting on a certain package to arrive in the mail. And I was given a window a couple of hours for that package to arrive. And I'm waiting, and it hasn't arrived. I go downstairs, and I see the card, which is put through my door. And I thought to myself, do they not know that nowadays people have bells as well? And you could actually press the bell? I thought to myself. But then I said to myself, what am I going to do now? Am I going to become despondent? It was a package which I really needed. And I was really waiting on it. I was really banking on it. I said, what am I going to become despondent as a result? I'm not going to become despondent. I'm going to remain afloat. I'm going to see the lesson in it. And I realized the lesson is that next time this particular courier tells me they're going to send me a package, I will wait outside for the package. I will not wait indoors and hope they ring on my doorbell. I will realize that they're not going to ring on the doorbell. They're not reliable like that. That's something I learned. It took me a lesson to learn it, and that's the lesson that God wanted to send me to the universe. Matt Kahn talks a lot about this concept of, after we die, we watch our life on a video screen, right? We revisit our lives. And you can't walk in the middle of the movie and press the button backwards or forwards. There's no such thing. You need to keep on watching it. And that's a symbol of our life as well, he says. We look at issues we have in life. We look at certain struggles we have in life. We look at certain areas of our life which are really upsetting. And we could hence become despondent and even become distraught as a result. He says, nonetheless, the point is that you're in a movie. In my case, the courier came to deliver it, and And I was hoping, I made arrangements to begin, and I thought they'll ring on my doorbell, and they didn't ring on the doorbell. So I hence got to the realization that this is a lesson which I have to learn, and it was a lesson which I've hence archived. I put it in my notes. This evening I put it down. I wrote down that, when this particular courier sends me a package, they're not reliable to ring on the doorbell. Next time they tell me to send me a package within a certain time, I will be outside to wait for the package. So that's the only choice I have. My next message today is another story. A very interesting story I had. A couple of days ago, I think it was the night after Day of Atonement, an elderly man turned to me and he said, it was very interesting. It was almost like coincidental, if you like, if you believe in coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence, and I believe it was a message from God. But he turned to me and he said something really interesting. He said that, let's say, for instance, you take a bus and you realize that you took the wrong bus. After a couple of minutes on the bus, you realize this is the wrong bus. What is the best thing to do, he says. He says, you're going to be in this bus for a while. You've gone out of sight. You've gone a distance away from where you intended to go. He says, you could either become despondent and upset about it, or you could turn around and say, let me enjoy the scenery. Let's enjoy the scenery all around me. Yeah? Enjoy the scenery, enjoy seeing the green leaves, whatever's left of the summer. Enjoy it. Enjoy seeing this leaf as well. Because I really I'm in love with this color leaf, actually. I think it's a beautiful shade. It's a stunning shade. I was really amazed when I saw it. I love the shape of it as well. I love God's gifts given to me through the universe. Thank you, dear God. So you could either enjoy the scenery, or you could hence become upset and frustrated and angry and go into a state of aghast. This happened to me. It's really, really interesting because it happened to me a couple of days later. I got into a bus and it was the wrong bus. And I was getting a little upset. People are waiting on me. I need to help them. They were waiting for me to help them. And I was upset, People waiting for me. And what can I do? I said to myself, Jessica, remember what that elderly man said? Remember what he said. Take it to heart and take it to use, because it's a very good lesson. It's a very good model to use in all areas of life. The wrong bus is a symbol for all areas of life, taking the wrong bus. So I did that in this particular case, and I enjoyed the scenery. And I told the people who were waiting on me, I said, I'm really sorry. The bus is delayed. And whilst the bus was driving as well, he stopped for a couple of minutes to help a passenger. He spent about 7 minutes talking to a passenger. And I just sat very relaxed, did not become upset, did not become despondent, did not go into a state of nerves. I remained relaxed. And everyone on the bus also remained relaxed. That's something which you have here in the UK. People are like that. They will wait for a bus driver however long he needs to take. They won't say a word to him. People do it when it's cold as well. They will, if they're amongst a group of people in this country, they'll keep stumm, as they say in this country. Stumm is a word in Yiddish. But they'll keep quiet and not mention the fact, stumm means quiet. They won't mention the fact that it's cold, and they'll just bite their lips and sit in the cold. It's kind of more of a British kind of mentality to do as well. So in this particular bus, I sat very politely, very calmly, and I said, I mentioned to the people who were waiting on me, I said, I'm really sorry, I'm being delayed again, and nothing I could do. The driver's taking his time. I also wanted to mention the third story. 3 stories in one video. Oh, that doesn't really happen very often these days. The other story was that we were sitting in the Festival of Huts, the first night of the Festival of Huts, Festival of Sukkot, which is about the Festival of Huts, and I was really enjoying it. But then I got a little cold, and I was kind of freezing. And I said to myself, Jessica, take that as a lesson for tomorrow night. You're going to be in the huts again. I was in the huts with my amazing rabbi and family, amazing people, very, very hospitable people. And the second night, I said to myself, Jessica, remember, you're going to be in the hut. You're going to be in the hut again, and it gets cold, and I get pretty cold when I sit in the hut. Next time, I put on 2 layers of socks. I brought along a scarf, and I brought along a couple of sweaters as well. And it was pleasant because I learned a lesson how to deal with the situation and how to make myself feel comfortable. I learned a lesson. Learn a lesson. Don't look at disappointment as a means of falling backwards. Rather, learn a lesson. Take a lesson from it. See it as a good thing. That's my powerful message today. If you have any thoughts about this video, please feel free to share your comments in the comment section down below. I'm really grateful for Mike and Beth and Karen and others who have left comments in the last few weeks and last few months as well. Good stuff, and many others as well. I've left good comments, important comments, which has been very helpful and great feedback in order for me to put out great videos. I just want to tell you again that you're welcome to share this video with your friends, family, peers, and acquaintances, or anybody you know. Feel free to share away. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now. And press that bell notification next to the subscribe button so that you can see these videos right away when they come out. I love you so much. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I love you.